Hi, I'm Enoch Wu. I'm the founder of Forward Alliance, an NGO focused on citizenship and community building. I'm here today to talk to you about societal resilience and civil preparedness. That's a very good question, a very fair question. In the strictest sense, national defense is about defending the country, countering and resisting both conventional and unconventional threats. Societal resilience is really a much broader concept about preparedness. It's about anticipating and planning for future shocks. And these shocks may be natural disasters or man-made crises, right? It's hazard agnostic. On top of that, in addition to planning and anticipating for shocks, it's also work towards limiting and managing the potential impact to adapt during crisis and recover from these crises. So I like to think about societal resilience as the shield and the military and the force structure as the sword. And so together with the right sword and a robust shield as the foundation, we have the best chance at maintaining peace. When we're talking about large-scale crises that really test our resilience, we are talking about potential impacts to our critical infrastructure that might knock out our power, might affect how we communicate. As an individual, it's about self-help, right? As a family, it's about taking care of those around you. And as a community, it's about supporting each other and stepping up to provide those services that might be affected in times of crisis. Our entire military is only approximately 0.7% of our population. Even if you add in our central government and local government staff, together, that's a little bit more than 2% of the entire Taiwanese population. And so societal resilience is about preparing the other 98%. Resilience is not just about war, although that is certainly one of the most consequential and high-impact threats that we potentially face. The government leading with building codes and travel advisory or crisis alert to help the civilian population. We call that civil protection, and it is actually written into humanitarian law. It's in the Geneva Convention. So around the world, if we look carefully, we'll see many countries standing up agencies and authorities. Its job is to make sure that civil society, the general public, when facing a crisis, can survive and can recover. We've seen the Taiwanese government stand up the Whole of Society Defense and Resilience Committee, and that is chaired personally by President Lai. Government must take leadership and set the framework and tell people our goal and how to get there, because then that tells civil society, from NGOs to communities to industry, that allows civil society to know where to go from here and what to work on. If you like the show, please subscribe and leave your comments below. There are 2 points here. The first is how the government is working on getting different professional groups and different agencies to work together. For example, the military with the police, with firefighters, and with medical professionals, right? This ability to collaborate and work towards a common mission, right? Interoperability. The second point here is about civilian preparedness and what civil society is ready to do. And here I think it's important to highlight a number. 25% of the public already does some sort of volunteering work. And that is a great place to start. Because the service, the sense of community, the sense of citizenship really is the secret sauce to societal resilience. As an example, in 1999, the devastating earthquake took thousands of Taiwanese lives. And over the last 25 years, we've done a lot of reform and investments into how we respond to disasters. And we saw last year when a similar magnitude earthquake hit eastern Taiwan, our casualties were much, much lower than 25 years before. Whether you're looking at a natural disaster or a man-made crisis, the outcomes are always the same, right? This is why it's so important for communities to have the ability and the knowledge and the will to activate and mobilize and help each other. Well, I think we need to see a lot more of these posts a lot more of the time because preparedness is a basic skill that everyone should have. Did you know in Taiwan, there are only approximately 16,000 firefighters and paramedics, 16,000 first responders in a country of 24 million people. That means each firefighter and paramedic has to serve 1,500 civilians. One first responder for every 1,500 civilian. I think that number really brings home the point why personal preparedness is so important. I think everyone should be reminded to have their own go bag. Every family should have their own emergency plan. All right, so here's one of the bags that we have at home. It's for me and the kids in a go bag. It's a good idea to consider food and water, have your documentation in order, your valuables, medical supplies, tools that you might need, et cetera, et cetera. But I should say, every go bag is different, right? Everyone's needs are different. We all have different priorities. So please don't judge my go bag, just like I won't judge yours. The key really here is to think through what you might need in an emergency and do the work to prepare ahead of time. Let me just walk you through what I have in here. This is just a simple water bottle. It's empty, just so you know. And I have a filter later in the pack. This is an individual first aid kit, basically gloves, tourniquet, hemostatic gauze, etc. A very small first aid kit for trauma. On the front here, we have a power bank, toothbrushes, space blanket. This helps you keep warm. Tucked away down here, we've got a multi-tool, bug spray, kids mosquito repellent, and obviously a multi-purpose rope. I also have two types of mosquito repellent here because mosquitoes are quite a problem in Taiwan, and so something safer for kids and something for adults. Tucked away in here, we've got masks and a couple notebooks. On this other pocket here, we've got headlamps, one for me and one for our son. As you can tell, this is cuter than this one, but they're both battery operated. And somewhere in here, we've got batteries. And my car key, spare car key. And let's see on the top, what do I have here? Oh, this just mint, not product placement, because I enjoy my mint and it does not weigh that much. The list here, earlier I mentioned I had an empty water bottle, and that's just because I don't have that much space to carry a whole lot of water, but I do have a life straw here that helps purify water. In the pack, I've got a bag for our young daughter and then her older brother. These are just change of clothes for them. Obviously duct tape, which can come in handy. This bag is more general use first aid, so disinfectant, antibacterial, Band-Aids, et cetera, Q-tips. That's just household first aid bag. Now you'll see so much space for paper towel because we have kids, a young kid at home with diaper needs. Above it, we've got a couple cans of protein here, chicken and tuna. I was going to get to this. This is a music box. It's a gift from a family friend that we've had since our daughter was born, and it just helps calm the nerves. And for her older brother, this is all he needs to stay entertained for 24 hours. Up the bag, we've got just some wool socks. Staying warm is very important. And this is a multi-purpose sleeve you can put around your neck. You can tighten the top and make it into a hat. And finally, I think I've got a couple more tucked away in here. So just some cash, petty cash, my credit card, spare credit card, our household information, ID numbers, bank account numbers, et cetera, et cetera. And here, something from my military days, I kept it. This is about it. The contents will have to be updated as our kids get older. And at some point, they can carry their own bag. You know, a lot of friends in Ukraine have talked about how they wish they had been better prepared ahead of 2022. I'd just like to offer 3 lessons that we should all keep in mind. The first one is the role that civil society organizations play in holding up their communities in times of crisis. NGOs stepped up to provide essential services that used to be provided for by government. Support their communities, offer food and water, to set up shelter, to care for abandoned animals, you name it. And the second is the importance of having the right medical capability and capacity in times of crisis. Oftentimes, when we talk about resilience, we are thinking about how to just get back to our basic level of power or telecommunication or transport. But in medical services, in crisis, what we need is actually a surge in capacity, right? Because we see a lot of casualties in these man-made or natural disaster caused. And so investing in the medical know-how and investing in the people who are able to step up and help is also very, very critical. And finally, we're seeing Ukrainians embrace technology. They're embracing technology to do defense better. They're embracing technology to communicate better, even using technology to push for government reform, right? And so I think these are three lessons that Taiwan can easily take away from Ukraine to build up our societal resilience: empowering civil society, investing in medical capacity, and embracing technology. So yes, psychological resilience is very important. But we also have to remember that countering disinformation is only one part of being prepared. A friend of mine has this great analogy. If you can visualize a mixer or an equalizer, what our adversaries are doing is manipulating the different buttons and the different levers to test and probe for our weaknesses. They might be choosing to attack us diplomatically, maybe militarily, maybe in the information space, or maybe economically, or a host of other mechanisms to undermine our security and our sovereignty. And so when we're pushing back on disinformation or on the information manipulation, that is merely pushing back against one lever. They're also doing other things. And that's why as citizens, we have to understand the most pressing debates about military restructuring and military reform. We have to understand how to bolster our economic resilience. We have to understand how to push back against information infiltration and diplomatic coercion. We have to do them all. So resilience is a lot of work, but it's worth it, right? Because our democracy is worth it. Okay, so like many democracies around the world, Taiwan is seeing an increased polarization in politics. Polarization in politics is nothing new. But I have to say, though, at the community level, we're seeing social unity. Forward Alliance has been working at the community level to raise our civil preparedness, to enhance our societal resilience. When we work with schools, we see teachers come out together with their principals and with their PTAs, their parents as well. When we work with churches, pastors, as well as staff, as well as people from the community convene. When we work with NGOs, we see them bring together their volunteers. When we work with companies, we see employees with their managers, even with their families in tow. We are working with first responders coming together to help train civilians, civilians getting together to upskill themselves so that they can train more civilians. And really, that can only happen in a democracy. Because at the core are citizens who are taking action because they care. There are citizens who believe they have agency, and civil society organizations that believe they're part of a broader community. It's only when you have citizens taking action, communities being organized, and government taking leadership that you're able to make societal resilience a reality. If you like the show, please subscribe and leave your comments below.